And we are live. Welcome to another episode of this YouTube series for Luna.ai, where we are interviewing 100 sales professionals to shape the ultimate, to build the ultimate sales tool, B2B sales tool. And today I'm meeting with Carol. Very excited to jump into the conversation with her. But before I give her the floor and introduce herself, just want to take a quick 20-second introduction on Luna.ai as we speak, as the platform is right now. So Luna is an all-in-one B2B sales platform where we're using AI to find your perfect leads. We are scraping the internet, website, social profile, stuff like that to find every piece of information there is to find, and then write mind-blowing sales emails. So that's the platform as it is right now. And as you know, we are interviewing all of these amazing sales professionals to get as much feedback out of them, which we can use to build the perfect platform, but also that you as a listener can use to improve your sales game. So like I said, without further ado, meeting with Carol today, really appreciate you jumping on. Before we dive into the details, would you mind telling us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. So I am Carol. I am based in Portugal, been working on B2B SaaS for the past 5 years, I think, been in many industries from healthcare to well-being platforms to AI right now, been working with AI tools and working with the whole sales funnel from outbound to inbound and also post funnel as well with CS. But yeah, happy to join the series.
Nice. Very cool. Can you also tell us a little more about Geek? Because I think for a lot of people listening, it's a very relevant product.
Yes, it is. Thanks for bringing us up. So the tool will just sync with your calendar, join all your meetings, and take notes for you, and sync with your CRM. So you just don't have to waste time on follow-ups looking to or your manual notes, and you can share with your team as well.
Amazing, amazing. That's one big part of the sales funnel. Like that's also what I have myself as well. Like before I started using AI note takers, I completely forgot about following up with people and stuff like that. So for me, it's a lifesaver. So thanks so much for jumping on. Maybe to introduce the first question, one of the things that is very interesting for us is that we have a lot of users who are like the first sales hire or like one of the first people in the sales team, smaller companies, B2B, doing cutting edge things. But then you're there, you have the founders, you have the meeting, you get the job, and then you're one of the first people in the team doing sales. What was that like for you? Because I know that you're one of the first people at Geek who were in the sales team, or I think the first one. So what was that like for you?
I've been there when I started my career. I've been there in small startups where I was the first sales hire from SDR then to A. But that's very tough because practically what you have is just early adopters and a little bit of inbound traction. And that's tough because you have the pressure to like deliver the results. So you have to work with limited resources and you have to look for the best like sales stack for you, like combining all the tools, doing the integrations and make sure you have the perfect flow.
Yeah, maybe let's dive into that. That's very interesting and very relevant for what we see around us. Maybe to start off with the pressure, because that's something that we hear a lot. How did you experience the pressure? Where is it coming from? Is it supposed to be there? Like, is it rightfully there, or like, what are your thoughts about that?
It's supposed to be there because it'll just make you move, but you have to manage all that pressure because, I mean, it's sales. Sales, you always deal with rejection, pressure. It's very tough if you're in sales. Yeah, good luck. You always deal with that. But for me, for example, when I start working as an SDR, it was my first job in sales. What I learned from my colleagues is just like first get a glimpse of what we have in terms of leads, like the pipeline and the customers, like be a customer obsessed. You have to study the customer, study the product, be an expert. So then you can just move everything, all the knowledge that you have to the outbound strategy to like work on a more consultative way, like to help others. That's the main thing not just like cold calling and send random emails to people. You have to understand the product and how to help others.
Would you say that that's different from when you are joining a more established company?
Yes,
As the
100%.
10th
Yeah,
hire?
because you have like the whole process set. Everyone is stable with everything. They use like old tools, and everything it's more like inbound. People rely a lot on inbound, and outbound is just like another side thing from sales.
Exactly. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So let's say if you start a new like a new tomorrow, like a new job, first sales hire. This is an amazing like SaaS company, just raised a couple of million, and they're like, okay, Carol, we need your help. We need to grow faster. What would be the first thing that you do?
Yeah, hop on a call with the early adopters. So interview them, like note like the best aspects of your product, to build the right messaging, and that's where sales should match with marketing. And a lot of people see that marketing and sales like opposite things, but no, they can combine to just work on the outbound efforts, and just not trying to be like the perfect ICP will never be perfect, but try to reach out to based on the use case from those interviews that you made.
I can imagine. Would that also like? Would you say that the ICP needs to be there before you can do your job, or is it your first responsibility to find that ICP?
It's the responsibility to find the ICP. I mean, when you are building the tool, you always find new ICPs, new use cases, and it could change. The product could change. Who determine as the people using it. Sometimes product, they imagine something completely different. But then here are most people using your product is from the different ICP you never imagined. And then you put them first, and then you iterate the product as you got the feedback. So yeah, you have to be customer obsessed. I always say that.
Customer obsessed. That's a very interesting way to frame it. Like basically, get as much information out of them as possible.
Exactly.
Nice. And how would you deal with like where is the pressure coming from for you?
From the lead management, like the C levels, to bring the results, because we have targets. Imagine everyone has like quarterly target. So to review those targets every time, to work on a strategy, like what's working, what's not working, what we can do to improve, what tools we can implement to, do a better job. So the pressure always comes from the C levels, of course, but always you also feel the pressure with your colleagues, because you have a common target, a common goal. If you were dealing with quarterly targets on a team level, that's the thing.
Nice. And how do you deal with that pressure? Like, because I can imagine that I can relate a bit to like the lead management and the founders as well, because it's a pretty big guess to hire someone in the sales team, right? You need to give them proper time to onboard, to get to know the product and get to know the customer and stuff like that. But on the other hand, you just raise funding, you need to show results, and you're like how what do you think is could be the responsibility and the role of the salesperson, the sales hire, to balance that out and to make sure that the pressure is equally distributed instead of everything just put on the shoulders of the AE?
Yeah, good question. I think information should be there to everyone in the team. Like how many leads we got. I used to do that with my team. How many leads we got this week? How many deals we closed, so people could see that. How many like MRR we brought to the company like this month. And I think the information should be there, so you don't have to update every time on those all hands meetings and waste time. So just create a page, populate it every week, every Friday, and make sure everyone has access to the information to see that like it's coming, the deals are coming, or if they are not coming, maybe we can work on something in the middle. and that's it.
Exactly. So keeping the information flow
Yes.
intact and constant. Then is that also something that you use software platforms for, or do you do that by hand? What is your
Notion.
process?
Notion.
Notion.
Just copy and
Nice.
paste from what I have on the sales tools. Like I block my time at the end of Friday and get information from the outbound and from the CRM and just put it in the Stripe and put it there.
Nice. That's awesome. And that's a perfect bridge to actually the next question that I had for you. What does your current sales stack look like? You mentioned outbound, you mentioned inbound, you mentioned juggling everything from lead to close, right? What does your sales process and your sales stack look like right now?
Yeah, I use to book the calls, like let's get from start, to book the calls Calendly, like everyone nowadays, and CRM HubSpot. It's like
Nice.
the easiest one, and you can integrate with everything, and use the MeetGeek to work for to just
very important.
Yeah, to take the notes and to help me with the follow-ups. And I automate everything too. So I never create a deal because it automates everything. I never create like tasks to follow up because I automated everything on HubSpot to make that for me, which is kind of cool. Outbound, currently using Luna and Apollo, these two. And also Sales Navigator, because I have like kind of a strategy that I've been using for like a couple of years, which is target new hires because they have empty inboxes and they are currently organize this new strategy. So it always worked with me. So I use Sales Navigator for that.
Wow, you really just dropped something very, very interesting. Like your primary sales strategy, probably. Like that's a very interesting one. I never even thought of it that way. That's like if you want to land on top of the inbox, you should go for the inboxes that are least populated.
Exactly.
And if you're creating new inboxes, then they still need to be put in all the databases and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I've been using that strategy since 2020, and it always worked for me. Like in my previous role, we were booking 15 calls a week, just from new hires, because the inboxes were pretty much empty, and we reach out to people who joined the company in the past 30 or 60 days, and they are still organizing everything. They want to show they are working, they are drafting like new strategies, they have fresh eyes. So it's always good to book calls with them because they gotta keep that calendar busy.
So we're probably seeing a viewer count drop right now because it's impossible to get even more value out of this video than already this. But that's amazing. That's actually very, very smart. And it's also an interesting one for us with Luna to keep in mind. Although, like, we need to preserve the quality of the strategy, of course, because if everyone starts targeting new hires, then
please, guys, keep it quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell anyone. Very nice. One thing you also mentioned, which was interesting, is that you automated everything in HubSpot, right? Using workflows and stuff like that. Is there like is that something that you do as a personal preference? Is there like some sort of because you think it's cool, or is it something that's also very necessary for your current way of working?
Yeah, it's necessary because otherwise I would be just forever updating in CRM and forgetting a follow-up with people because I'm a CS and sales lead right now, so juggling different roles. So what I do, once I have a meeting from MeetGeek, I will create a deal automatically with all the notes, everything I need to know about the deal on HubSpot. And then once it's added, I have a workflow to create a task named follow-up to like less than a week. And then after I do the follow-up, I mark, okay, like that task, it creates another follow-up task, the second, and then I have a third, and then the breakup if they don't reply. So I have everything organized. And as well,
Nice.
when I move the deal across the pipeline, it will create different tasks.
Is that also, it sounds like a way for you to keep track of everything, to have not any, like to prevent stuff falling through the cracks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I always know what's closing, what's not closing. So it's good to keep the numbers and also the dashboard that I have on HubSpot to have a better picture of the pipeline for forecasting, of course.
What would be the this is a very broad and potentially difficult question, but what would be the value for you, or if HubSpot would do that automatically? Because HubSpot does that now by workflows that you build yourself, but then you also need to maintain them, update them. Maybe not every workflow fits every prospect or every deal. What would be the value for that, and how would that look like?
It would save my life. It would save my life because I think we spend a lot of time on CRM. I spend less time right now after I found out that I could create the perfect workflow for my follow-ups. But if they do that, it would be amazing because everyone is just creating workflows and integration. They have lots of integration to Zapier. That you can connect everything to make your life easier, so you don't have to waste your time doing boring stuff. I don't think people want to do that anymore, and yeah, I think that would be amazing. Good idea.
Yeah, we're getting lazy in the era of AI. When everything could be AI driven, then you feel really dumb doing stuff.
That's true.
I get that feeling. Maybe a follow-up question about that. What would that look like for you? Imagine a perfect world where HubSpot would take care of everything related to workflows and deal velocity and stuff like that. Do you have any idea what that would look like?
Yeah, maybe inside the pipelines page, you had something that was marked automatically as a priority, low priority, or even this one needs a follow-up, this one needs this. I mean, if the AI could do that, it would be great, because sometimes we'll have less relevant deals in the pipeline, and also it won't impact the MRR as well. So you just left hanging there, and then you have to pay attention to other stuff. But when you have lots of deals, that's really hard.
I can imagine, especially if you're doing if you could put an extra factor in there, which is buying intent. If there's a higher buying intent because someone visited your website, or someone opened an email, or someone clicked a link, or someone basically, even the distinction between someone clicking a link and spending 2 seconds or 2 minutes on your website, right? And someone checking out the pricing page, or someone checking out the blogs or something like that.
Yeah, we've been using that. Yeah, that's amazing, because I heard that HubSpot bought Clearbit, and we were using a Clearbit for that intent data. But
nice.
But the thing is that in my case, I couldn't see who was accessing the website and the pages, just the company. That was valuable as well, but I wish I could see the person, because when you have a lot of people involved in the deal, it would be nice to see the person. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. That would bring a lot of value to your sales process, and save you a lot of time as well, because then you know who to focus on. You can, if someone is opening emails but not clicking, and after 2 or 3 ones you're like, okay, this is not going to work. And you can also start bothering them, right? And preserve your brand value.
That's true.
Yeah, that could be very interesting. Awesome. You mentioned that you are full funnel work, of course. How are you balancing inbound and outbound at this moment? Do you get a lot of inbound leads?
Yeah, I would say everything right now, almost everything is coming from inbound.
Wow.
The outbound is it's getting started right now. We're starting to build the sequence, a steady flow at the moment. But pretty much everything, it's word of mouth, or partners, or people referring us, or notice someone is using the tool and want to use themselves. So pretty much inbound, it's playing a very important role.
Nice. That's very cool. And what does the process look like for inbound leads at this moment?
Yeah, they just go to the website, and if they fit in the ICP, let's say, they can book a call. If they don't fit, we just move them to a page where they can test it out the platform, self-serve, because we want to lower the customer acquisition cost. Otherwise, I would be having so many calls with people that won't bring that much value as an enterprise would. So we have different flows for different type of companies.
Where do you do that qualification? Do you do that on the website itself or after they put in, like, filled in the form?
We have a type form for that. So we have different flows. So we have a logic. Once they feel like how many people would be using the tool. Like it doesn't matter if they are working for like a company, 100 people, how many people would be using. If they put like 4 or 5 people, it doesn't matter. They can just test it out on the platform. If they put like 100 people, yeah, let's have a call. Let's hop on a call. And I also ask them, what's the intention to buy? Like directly, are you looking to buy right now, in a month, in 6 months, in a year? If we put like 6 months in a year, that's not so relevant.
I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah. And if it's in a month, for example, yeah, let's just hop on a call.
That's super interesting. What is your, like, do you have a feedback loop in place as well? Like, are people who say they're eager to buy right now, like, generally also buying right now? Like, is there a correlation between the buying intent that they put and that they actually have?
Yes, there is. I found that impressive to ask people directly because like 2 months ago, we were not asking at all. So let's just ask. Otherwise, we'll just waste our time. And that's really good, really powerful to have that data because it's actually true. Sometimes we have an option that says it's ASAP. When it says ASAP, people mostly like to buy in a week or 2.
Wow. That's actually that put me to think we should do that as well. That's so cool. That's so cool. But that's an interesting one as well. And I can imagine, like, if we could do that qualification with Luna, I think that could also save a lot of time and make sure that, like, it could also be interesting if someone says, I buy in 6 months, and you just get back, like, in sort of like a drip campaign outbound sequence.
Yeah, we push the drip campaign. Yeah.
Very smart. Very smart. Wow, that's a very interesting one. I'm gonna remember that. Nice. Maybe one question about, or did you want to add anything to this or not?
No, good. I mean, just focus on lower the customer acquisition cost, and that's it.
I can imagine if you're having all of these demos for irrelevant people, then it runs up quite.
And then
quite quickly.
Your mental health goes to the trash.
Nice. That's a very good one. It's a very good one. I'm gonna remember that. Nice. So maybe one question about, we've been talking about AI and stuff for a bit already, but maybe one general overall question: what would you see is the perfect balance between, like, human work and AI work in the sales funnel? Because a lot of people are talking about, hey, the AI can do everything, it takes your job and stuff like that. But, like, what would you feel is the perfect balance? Where would that be?
Yeah, if AI could just take operation aspect of sales, just the operational aspect of it, like doing the follow-ups, work on the workflows, creating the task for you, dropping up like a few tips before the call. Hey, heads up, you have to do this. This is a follow-up call. This client say this and that. And that would be amazing, just the operational stuff, because the skills of sales are like irreplaceable. And I think if you just spend so much time just going on the system, filling out the CRM, sales loses magic. So leave it up to AI to do that, and just focus on pretty much the strategy.
Very nice. I like that. So if we're going to talk about, let's say, the future of, do you do any cold calls? Now you're mostly working on inbound leads right now, right?
Yeah, I've done cold calls. I don't plan, because I don't think it works for all industries and all ICPs. I think for the most, like if the target is less tech savvy, they won't be online, so it's worth to give them a call, to hop on a call. And in some countries it wouldn't work, but mostly yes. If your customer and if you're selling a software, they are online, so it's better to reach out to them on email or LinkedIn, whatever. Just record a Loom video, whatever. But cold calling, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, I can imagine. So if you're selling to SaaS companies, then you should stay away from the phone.
Not to all ICPs, but yeah, mostly yes.
I can imagine. Cool. You mentioned something interesting there as well. You said record a Loom video. Is that like part of your sales process at this moment?
I used to record when I could see that when outbound they were opening a lot of emails. Like when I say a lot, more than 10 times, I would record like a hyper personalized, say, hey, the name, like 10 seconds, and send. At work, most of
Nice.
the times, I wouldn't say it was like 100%, but at work, people booked a call. They found that was like really cool and funny. And as well for inbound, if they are not responding, you notice they are using the product, they're trialing, they are opening your emails, and you just do something like more personalized to them.
So do I understand correctly if you're saying that you're most of the time doing that for like, let's say, emails farther into the sequence? So not the first one, but let's say if someone opens or does not respond on an
Yeah,
inbound
so it's
inquiry and stuff
usually,
like that.
yeah, usually the second or the third one. Not all my sequence, but for some roles, I would do that.
Very interesting. Would you see there, like, would you see an application for AI there as well? Like,
I saw the other day on Product Hunt that you could use the name of the person and then you create the same video and just copy and paste. I don't think that's doable right now, but yeah, I saw that someone creating something like that. I don't think I would use because I'm not been using that right now, but maybe interesting.
very cool. Very cool. Maybe one last question from my side, because as you know, we're basically trying to build the ultimate sales tool. If you take a look at your current sales stack and your sales process, which you talked about and explained about what that looks like right now, what would you say is the one thing that is missing? Where would you say like, oh man, this is killing me right now, and this needs to be solved, right?
Yeah, okay, that's really good because right now I'm struggling because I had a tool doing that as the new hires. And when someone moved a job and they're already your clients, they're already there in the pipeline, they moved a job and you want to be notified so you can reach out because they could be a champion. And the new hires, like 36 days are like perfect, would be perfect because I've been using other ways to do that.
Nice. Okay, so if we could update you, basically have a new hire as some sort of an intent data, so to say. If we could add that as well to the, and would that also mean that you would like to adjust the weights of certain intent data by yourself? Because I can imagine that not everyone maybe after hearing this video, everyone will start targeting new hires, of course, but there might also be other events or other like type of intent data that could be less relevant. What would you think about
Yeah,
that?
when they are hiring, there are like specific jobs. Yeah, I like that tool could be useful for them. Like you're most likely to hire this person, and if they use this tool, it could be helpful for them. Or the tool could replace a person because you're talking about AI. So yeah, that would be interesting if we could see like what they are looking for in terms of new hires.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. That's the thing that you're missing right now? That's the most precious
Yeah.
and important thing.
Yeah, it's missing because I've been using another tool, Ample Market, to do that. They had like great intent data, like for everything. And if the company was like 100% remote, if it was hybrid, they had that data. If they were hiring for specific roles, if someone on that role that I'm looking for joined the company in the past 30 days, for example, they had this data. And since I moved to another tool, I've been missing that. I've been using Sales Navigator, but it's not accurate. It's not 100%. But yeah, it would be nice to have everything under one platform.
Gotcha. Okay, that's an interesting one as well. Have everything under one platform, because I can imagine with the list of sales tools you mentioned, that having everything connected and stuff like that to HubSpot is also not ideal.
Yeah, I could get distracted easily.
I can imagine. Amazing. Thanks so much. That was it for my questions. Like, is there anything that you would like to share about like personal insight, personal stuff, maybe like something about Geek, or like, well, is there anything that you would like to share with the viewers?
I have one question for you, actually.
Tell me.
What's the future for Luna AI? What are your plans? Where you see the company in 1 year from now?
That is a very interesting question. So at this moment, what we want to build the perfect tool for AEs, people, or not necessarily AEs alone, but people who are responsible for the entire sales cycle. So the people that are currently going from the lead generation up until the closing, and maybe like yourself, even the CS part. These people, they're juggling a lot of tasks all at the same time. They're doing a lot of context switching, and we basically want to build one platform that can do everything. Basically, my vision for Luna for a year is that you have your CRM system, for example, HubSpot, which is your single source of truth, and there everything is in there, and you can do your reporting and stuff like that, which is basically your database. And then you have Luna.ai, which is the executive part. So if you have tasks or workflows or anything from lead generation, outbound leads, inbound leads, and anything for the rest of the sales funnel, you can do everything within Luna.ai. So that's basically the CRM system is for your management team, and you would spend all of your time within Luna.ai. That's what we're going for. That's what we're building, and that's why we're trying to get as much information out of people like you, the sales professionals, to help us figure out what is the best, the easiest, and the quickest way to do that.
Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing. Can't wait to see it, honestly.
Amazing, cool. That being said, I want to thank you very much, Carol, for jumping on this call, having this interview with me, and sharing all of your insights and valuable experiences. To the people listening in, I want to thank you also for watching. And as you know, we're interviewing 100 sales professionals, so there will be much more videos and episodes to come. So on to the next one. See you there.
Thanks, everyone.